What if I told you that the most powerful country on Earth just unveiled a jet so advanced, it's not even meant to last? A weapon built not to endure, but to dominate. Not to survive decades, but to shape the next one. This isn't just a fighter. It's a billion-dollar ghost, armed with AI wingmen and unmatched stealth. And it may be the reason America keeps its throne in the skies for the next 50 years. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the F-47 isn't just another jet. It's a declaration of financial and military dominance. The billion-dollar reveal: why the F-47 isn't just a jet, it's a power statement. In a world where military might translates directly into economic leverage and political influence, the unveiling of the F-47 is more than a defense announcement. It's a calculated demonstration of dominance. This aircraft isn't just a new tool for the U.S. Air Force. It's a billion-dollar symbol of America's unwavering control over the skies and, by extension, global affairs. When President Trump stood flanked by military leaders to reveal the F-47, the message was clear. Power isn't just about who has the most weapons. It's about who controls the future of warfare. The F-47 was designed not only to win battles, but to shift the balance of power in global defense economics. In a world driven by financial warfare, the F-47 is an asset class all its own. The United States understands the geopolitical game better than anyone. Advanced military tech fuels allies, scares adversaries, and keeps American interests on top. The F-47 is engineered to project not just force, but fear, a technological masterpiece made to protect and preserve American wealth in a multipolar world. To the average citizen, it's a jet. To investors, leaders, and enemies, it's a statement. America doesn't just lead the world in power, it reinvents it. Trump's strategic move: the symbolism behind the 47th presidency and the F-47. The name F-47 wasn't chosen by chance. In the realm of military branding, numbers matter, and the symbolism of the 47th presidency unveiling the F-47 is a masterstroke in political marketing. It creates a subconscious legacy, tying Trump's reign to a machine of unprecedented influence. Trump has always understood branding better than most politicians. The F-47 allows him to inscribe his presidency into military history. This isn't just a fighter jet. It's a floating monument to a leadership era focused on restoring U.S. dominance in every possible arena, from trade to technology to tactical warfare. By aligning his presidency with a sixth-generation fighter, Trump makes a bold statement. America isn't looking to preserve the past. It's here to dominate the future. The F-47 becomes more than hardware. It's narrative power in steel form, flying over any country as a reminder of who writes the rules. And let's not forget the timing. With global tensions rising, unveiling a jet like this during an election cycle reinforces one message to the American public and the world alike. Under his leadership, America builds machines that don't just protect, it profits. Boeing's victory: how a defense giant outmaneuvered its rival. In the war for contracts, Boeing just landed a multi-billion-dollar jackpot. Securing the F-47 project wasn't just a win, it was a strategic masterclass in corporate maneuvering. Lockheed Martin may have ruled the fifth-gen era with the F-35, but Boeing now holds the blueprint for the next chapter in air supremacy. This win signals a broader shift in Pentagon sentiment. Discontent with Lockheed's over-budget complexities opened the door for Boeing to present a leaner, more adaptable vision. The F-47 is Boeing's answer to a demand not just for innovation, but for cost-effective, scalable power. Behind closed doors, this contract reflects a truth often hidden from the public. Military dominance is also about market control. With the F-47, Boeing doesn't just win prestige, it secures influence across a global web of allied air forces, defense budgets, and foreign policy corridors. Now, as Boeing constructs specialized facilities and prepares for full-scale production, it positions itself not just as a manufacturer, but as a kingmaker in the empire of aerial warfare. A first look at the beast, what the Air Force's renderings reveal. The Air Force gave the world a glimpse of the future, just enough to tease but not enough to reveal. The F-47 renderings showcase a sleek, angular body with a chine running along the nose and potential high-dihedral canards, features hinting at a design that prioritizes stealth and unpredictability. The canards, angled upward, break traditional design expectations, suggesting enhanced agility. One rendering showcases them clearly, while another shrouds the aircraft in vapor and clouds. A move likely meant to provoke curiosity and speculation. This jet isn't just engineered, it's marketed like a myth. The body's shape hints at a stealth profile so refined, it may bypass radar traps common in previous designs. From below or the side, the diamond-like cross-section minimizes visibility to the enemy. This isn't just stealth, this is disappearing into the future. Every angle seems calculated not only for performance, but for psychology. The F-47 is meant to instill awe before it even takes off, a masterpiece of military design that looks more like a machine from a dystopian empire than a traditional combat aircraft. Stealth reimagined, breaking radar with design, not just tech. Forget what you know about stealth. The F-47 changes the game entirely. Unlike older models that relied heavily on coatings and passive absorption, this aircraft is designed from the ground up to evade detection through shape, size, and structure. The radar signature is expected to be minuscule, possibly even smaller than the legendary F-22, which already had a radar cross-section equivalent to a marble. The F-47 could push that boundary even further, edging into near invisibility under modern detection systems. Imagine a jet you can see with your eyes, but not with your radar. Inspired by Boeing's secretive bird of prey from the 1990s, the F-47 takes stealth from concept to execution. The bird of prey allegedly achieved radar invisibility levels decades ahead of its time. Now, with newer materials and more precise engineering, the F-47 carries that legacy into battle. This isn't just an evolution in combat, it's a revolution in survival. In a world where seeing means killing, not being seen is the ultimate form of dominance. A legacy in the shadows, the bird of prey, and the DNA of the F-47. Before the F-47 took shape, there was a ghost in Boeing's hangar, the bird of prey, a low-profile stealth demonstrator that flew quietly in the 1990s. Though it never entered mass production, its influence was enormous, especially in shaping the stealth philosophy that lives on in the F-47. The bird of prey wasn't just about hiding from radar, it was about a racing presence. It demonstrated that a plane could be seen with the naked eye, yet remain completely invisible to radar, even at close range. Its radar cross-section was rumored to be negative 70 decibels, a staggering number that made even the F-22 stealth seem outdated. The F-47 borrows this DNA and amplifies it. From the chine lines to the wing angles, Boeing has embedded the spirit of the bird of prey into a weapon made for 21st century power projection. This isn't nostalgia, it's legacy weaponized. When America revives a concept, it's not to repeat the past. It's to perfect it, monetize it, and make it a tool for controlling the future. Canards, angles, and power posture, the anatomy of modern wealth warfare. Those canards on the F-47, angled upward with a high dihedral, aren't just for maneuverability. They're a statement of aerial confidence, part of a broader philosophy. That form and function can merge to express dominance. Every curve of this aircraft screams intentionality. In older jets, canards were often reserved for agility. But on the F-47, they may serve stealth, airflow control, and psychological warfare. If your enemy doesn't understand how your plane works, they can't plan to defeat it. That's control at the most fundamental level. The angles, the lack of typical wing fuselage radar traps, the diamond-like silhouette, it's all part of a design language that favors elegant lethality. This isn't brute force, it's warfare by design, the kind only a country with unlimited resources and industrial innovation can afford. And in the modern battlefield, the shape of your fighter speaks louder than missiles. It tells adversaries, we can build things you won't understand until it's too late. Size matters. Why smaller could mean deadlier in 21st century combat? Traditionally, bigger meant better. More fuel, more weapons, more power. But the F-47 turns that assumption on its head. Reports suggest it might be smaller than the F-22, possibly even lighter. But that's not a weakness, it's efficiency turned into advantage. A smaller airframe reduces radar signature, enhances speed, and simplifies logistics. It also fits the future of combat, where information and precision trump brute force. You don't need to carry 12 missiles if a swarm of drones is doing your dirty work. Moreover, a smaller jet costs less to build and maintain. And in a world of defense economics, this matters. You can field more jets faster and outnumber your enemies in both machinery and strategy. That's not just military might, it's capitalist warfare at its finest. The F-47 proves that deadliness isn't measured in tons. It's measured in strategy per square foot. The art of strategic minimalism: less missiles, more intelligence. The F-47 might carry just 4 air-to-air missiles. On paper, that seems limiting, but that's the point. This jet isn't meant to fight alone. It fights as a commander in the digital battlefield, surrounded by AI-powered drones acting as its arms and shields. This is strategic minimalism. Build a fighter that doesn't need to be overloaded with weapons because it's connected to a combat ecosystem. The F-47 becomes a flying general, thinking, dodging, directing. Reducing payload also means reducing weight, increasing range, and maximizing stealth. That's a trifecta that allows the F-47 to go farther, strike faster, and disappear before retaliation. Minimalism here isn't limitation, it's weaponized intelligence. In the age of over-engineering, going lean is revolutionary. It's a luxury only the most advanced, most confident military can afford. The rise of AI wingmen, swarm drones, and the future of air superiority? The real secret of the F-47 isn't in the plane, it's in what flies beside it. The U.S. Air Force has strongly hinted at the use of drone swarms to accompany each F-47 into battle. These aren't just support bots, they're autonomous killers with high IQs and zero hesitation. Each drone can act as a missile carrier, decoy, electronic warfare pod, or even sacrificial shield. When you multiply one F-47 by 5 or more of these intelligent wingmen, you're not launching a sortie, you're launching a micro-army. This system changes everything. Instead of one plane doing one mission, you have a networked force capable of overwhelming enemies, confusing radar, and striking from multiple vectors. It's air superiority through technological multiplication. And in terms of economics, it's brilliant. You reduce the risk to human pilots, minimize training costs, and scale power like never before. The F-47 isn't just a jet, it's a CEO in a fleet of airborne employees, and business is booming. The engine of empire, next-gen propulsion, and global reach. At the heart of the F-47 lies a new breed of engine, one designed not just for thrust, but for strategic reach and economic dominance. Rumors suggest a hybrid system that merges the fuel efficiency of turbofans with the brute power of turbojets. That means it can cruise across continents, then vanish at supersonic speed. This flexibility isn't just about agility, it's about presence. A jet that can reach enemies faster and return without refueling is a financial multiplier in war logistics. Fewer tankers, fewer bases, fewer risks. That's not just smart engineering. That's warfare with Wall Street-level efficiency. Longer range means projecting power into distant, contested spaces without asking permission. And in today's geopolitical landscape, that's the real currency of war. You don't need to conquer a region if you can dominate it from the stratosphere. The F-47 isn't just built to fly, it's built to own the airspace above trillion-dollar territories. Fueling dominance. How the F-47 will outrange the F-35. The F-35 was once hailed as the gold standard, boasting a 900-mile combat radius. But now the F-47 may surpass it by 25%, maybe even 50%, thanks to engine innovation and lighter airframe design. That's not just an upgrade, that's a game changer in global strike capability. How does it achieve this? Efficiency meets minimalism. The F-47 may sacrifice heavy armor and unnecessary payloads, reallocating that weight to fuel. Add in advanced propulsion tech, And suddenly you have a jet that flies farther, costs less, and still hits harder. And it's not just about flying longer. It's about who gets to the battlefield first, stays longer, and controls the pace of engagement. That's strategic tempo, the rhythm of war. The F-47 is built to lead that tempo and make others dance to America's beat. In combat economics, range is reach, and reach equals market access in the theater of war. Temporary titans. Why the F-47 may be built to fade fast. Here's where the F-47 truly breaks with tradition. It may be built not to last decades, but to dominate briefly and be replaced. This is military strategy modeled after tech startups. Release, dominate, iterate. In this model, longevity is replaced by constant innovation. Instead of creating a jet meant to serve 40 years like the F-35, the Air Force is exploring shorter life cycles, allowing faster upgrades and modular improvements. This keeps the U.S. always ahead of evolving threats and constantly pushing the envelope of technology. This strategy also slashes long-term maintenance costs. Why invest billions in retrofitting aging jets when you can build smarter, cheaper, better ones every few years? It's Silicon Valley logic applied to the battlefield. The F-47 isn't just a weapon, it's a prototype of an era where military power updates faster than smartphones. Rapid manufacturing, rapid deployment, the financial logic of metal printing. At the core of this speed-focused strategy is a revolution in manufacturing, Metal 3D printing. By using additive construction methods, Boeing can build parts faster, lighter, and cheaper, cutting months off production schedules and millions off budgets. This isn't just faster, it's scalability with precision. Need a replacement wing or component in the field? Print it. Need 50 more jets next year instead of 30? The machines are ready. It turns military production into an on-demand empire. And with fewer parts, stronger materials, and less waste, the logistics chain becomes simpler, leaner, and harder to disrupt. In a war where supply lines are the soft underbelly, digital manufacturing is a shield and a sword. The F-47 isn't just a product of this revolution, it's the face of it. An aircraft that represents the speed of money turned into the speed of power. Cost versus power. How cheaper can still mean stronger. It's tempting to equate price with performance, but the F-47 aims to break that equation. Despite being cheaper than the F-22 and potentially even the F-35, it promises superior range, stealth, and flexibility. How? Intelligent design and ruthless prioritization. Instead of loading the plane with every possible feature, engineers focused on what really wins wars in the new era: evasion, communication, speed, and adaptability. It's not about carrying every weapon, it's about being the one weapon that can't be stopped. This model flips defense economics on its head. Nations can now field more units, reduce pilot risk, and enhance capabilities through networking, not brute force. That's the kind of lean innovation that billionaires admire and adversaries fear. The F-47 isn't proof that cheaper is weaker. It's proof that true power is about value, economic, tactical, and psychological. Bigger isn't always better. Why the US chose efficiency over size? While China is building bigger and bulkier jets like the J-36, the United States took a different path. The F-47 is compact, calculated, and lethal. That's not a retreat from power. It's a strategic flex of efficiency over excess. A smaller jet means reduced radar signature, lower production costs, and greater versatility. It can perform multiple roles with fewer resources. It's not about looking intimidating, it's about being unpredictable and untouchable. True power in modern warfare isn't about bulk, it's about precision and purpose. The F-47 is designed to operate in synergy with drones, satellites, and AI systems. It's not a lone warrior, it's a critical node in a larger empire of digital dominance. So while others build sky beasts, America builds invisible masters of the battlefield, engineered by economic intelligence and technological discipline. The Quiet Revolution: How the F-47 Changes Global Defense Economics. The F-47 isn't just a new jet. It's a paradigm shift in how wars are funded and fought. Every design choice was made with one thing in mind: reshaping the economics of air supremacy. Cheaper, faster to build, easier to operate, the F-47 enables the U.S. and its allies to scale up without breaking budgets. Meanwhile, adversaries are forced to overspend just to keep up. That's economic warfare in stealth mode. It's not just about air dominance, it's about using innovation to pressure rivals financially. The F-47 becomes a tool of influence, not just in the air, but across diplomacy, trade, and global strategy. In a world where GDP aligns with missile counts and treaties hang on technological leverage, the F-47 is the perfect weapon for a new era, where the true battlefield is the balance sheet. 2035 and beyond. Projecting American air supremacy. The F-47 isn't built for today. It's designed to own the skies of tomorrow. By 2035, it could become the global benchmark for sixth-gen fighters, redefining what it means to rule the air. This isn't just a new plane. It's a foundation for a future air combat ecosystem. Integrated with AI, supported by drone swarms and constantly upgraded, the F-47 won't just fight wars, it will shape them. Every enemy that dares to match it will be racing against time and budget. By the time they catch up, the U.S. will already be flying its successor. That's not competition, it's perpetual advantage. With the F-47, America isn't just preparing for future wars, it's making sure it decides how those wars are fought. A single jet, a global message. The economics of fear and influence. One F-47 in the sky is more than a weapon. It's a message from the world's leading power. Fast, silent, and undetectable, its presence sends ripples through global politics and military alliances. In today's hyper-connected world, the mere deployment of this jet can shift markets, influence elections, and pressure rogue states. This isn't shock and awe, it's financial intimidation at supersonic speed. When leaders know an F-47 can appear above their borders without warning, they think twice before backing hostile regimes or violating treaties. That's the soft power of stealth supremacy. The F-47 doesn't need to strike to dominate, it just needs to exist. Boeing's empire? What this means for the Navy and the future of war. With Boeing winning the Air Force contract, it's only logical to ask, is the Navy next? A naval variant of the F-47 could unify America's air strategy under one vision, one company, and one doctrine. If that happens, Boeing won't just be a defense contractor, it will become the architect of 21st century air warfare. From land to sea, from stealth to AI integration, they could lead the charge across all combat domains. That's not just a military shift, it's industrial consolidation of strategic power. A single company guiding the future of American supremacy, crafting aircraft that not only defend, but dictate global dynamics. And if that future comes true, the F-47 will be remembered not just as a fighter, but as the birth of an airborne empire.